Good evening, guys. How you doing? Good evening. How you doing? Don't smoke.
I'm good, Patrick. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I haven't done this for so long. It's been almost a week, I think. So I didn't even do the Southampton game. So this will be obviously my first game. Then I'll do one more game, and that's it. I think so for the week. Then I'll do the review later. So guys, welcome to the show. It's the Copenhagen away game versus Man City. So we're going to Copenhagen this time. The other game at the 80 had ended 5-0. It was a very good professional performance. So don't smoke. Looking at this game after the Southampton one, obviously I didn't do the review for the Southampton. I was sick, guys, so that's why I didn't do it. But looking at this game from the first leg, are you looking to for Pep to field a sort of a weaker team, or you want him to go ahead and continue fielding a very strong team and then maybe sub them?
I think it depends in which positions, right? Like for example, in midfield, I don't think he's gonna tinker too much with the midfield, just for momentum's sake, right? So he might change the things like the wingers. You might see different fullbacks, right? But and defenders, I don't know. The funny thing with our defense, is I don't at the moment I don't even know which is our first choice pick. That's the reality.
Is that a good thing? You think so?
Mm. It's good and bad, right? It's good in the sense that it means that everyone is on par, or everyone is doing well. But then it's bad in the sense that you don't know which is your best pair. That's still the best part. And what's worse is it becomes unfair to remove someone who's performing well, right? Because people still want meritocracy, right? Especially amongst players, because you want players feeling as if, regardless of how they perform, they won't play a game, right? So, but I think our wingers, they might you might see a change there. Like I see Mahrez starting, right? Because I don't think he's gonna start the Liverpool game. So Mahrez might most likely get a start, and then on the other side, he's most likely gonna play either Grealish or Foden.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Okay, so guys, welcome to the show. McLovin says, "Hola, how you doing, McLovin man? Hope you're well." Um, let's get on to the preview. What about the injury report? Did you watch the press? So far, I think it's just Walker, Stones, and Phillips, unless there's somebody else who's injured apart from that. I saw Gundogan
No,
is back in training.
yeah, it's the English guys, right? It's those three English guys who are injured. I don't think unless there's new injuries. It's those three that are sidelined.
Yeah, yeah. I think with the report, with what I saw, with what I've heard and I've seen all posted, and an article I saw, I think it's Walker, Stones, and Cancelo. No, not Cancelo. What's his name? Phillips. So it's Walker, Stones, Phillips who are injured so far. So it's three players, and they two obviously had surgery and it was successful. They're recovering, and then Stones had the hamstring, but Pep says Stones will be back. So apart from that, and you've talked about what you think is going to happen, but during this second game, what players would you want to watch? Who are you watching? Who are you putting on cam that okay, this is the guy I want to see perform, or this is the guy who I'm watching because he's interested in me at this point in time. So what's the players to watch for yourself? I'll tell you mine later.
Gomez, right? Gomez for me is still a player I'd like to see more of, because I think we've had a sneak peek or glimpse of what he can do going forward, like with that Haaland assist for his hat trick at United. Right, those are the type of balls whereby Mendy used to supply. I don't know if you remember when Mendy was still active.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, he supplied them to Aguero, and Aguero I think scored
Yeah,
three.
those low hard crosses, right? Which are a beauty for strikers, but a nightmare for defenders, right? Because if you touch that, it could be an own goal at the pace that it comes in. It comes at. So the other one is Alvarez, right? I'd still like to see more of Alvarez. I don't think we've gotten a chance to see him.
Where do you want to see him as a lone striker? Is that what you're waiting to see?
It's not gonna happen. So
Mm.
I won't even waste my time fantasizing about it. Haaland will most likely play most games and probably get hooked off halftime at least.
Ah,
Right. So Alvarez, I want to see. We've seen the energy and intensity. I think we'd like to see the link up play because evidently Haaland's link up play has been getting better the more he plays with the team. If you notice from the first few games he played to the recent ones, right? His
he's getting
his
comfortable
link
with
up,
the team, yeah.
yes, exactly. So I'd like to see the same for Alvarez to see his link up play, just the same way he used to play at River Plate, right?
Mhm.
Because with Alvarez, I see more than just goals. I see a lot of assists because he's
Yeah,
almost
me
like a
too.
hybrid. He's not just a pure striker. He's like a hybrid of a striker and a wide player. So he's more like a wide forward for me, a striker who could also play in wide
So
areas.
he's just Jesus with better finishing.
Yes, he's Jesus with better finishing, right? That's why I feel as if he is the perfect replacement for Jesus, especially like what Jesus used to give us in the games against Liverpool or Madrid,
Yeah, a lot of
right?
energy. Yeah, a lot of energy in those games.
He's
That's why
got
he was
those.
played. Yeah.
He's got those attributes, and I'm just disappointed that we didn't get a chance to see Phillips during these times because I feel as if these are the type of games whereby he would actually be rotated with Rodri, right? Just to see how well he can control the midfield and anchor
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you're right about that. These are the opportunities. You look at Phillips, even the Copenhagen, the first game, isn't it? You look like that's a
Yeah,
Philip game. Because look, remember the first game, Rodri had a knock and Gundogan played amazingly. Might I say? Every time Gundogan plays as a DM, except the final, which I think was a bit of just a shock to the system for everybody because he was playing very well as an attacking. Every time we played with Gundogan, we've actually slapped big teams, even more than three. You know what I mean? The 5-0 against Chelsea, Gundogan was there. That seven at Waterford. No, Waterford. What am I talking about? Watford. It was actually him. So he seems like whenever he's a DM, I think because of the way he keeps the ball and the way he rotates the ball, recycles the ball, I think we play well. So, but you're right, man. Phillips is a mess because Phillips is somebody who we brought in so that Rodri. Let's say we get to the later stages of the Champions League. You'd rather Phillips and Rodri be there because at least you'd be guaranteed a DM, isn't it? So you'd rather both of them
exactly.
be there because those guys are. I think for me, I think DMs have always been the downfall for City. People think it's defense. I don't think so. I think every time
No,
we enter, like, do you remember that time when Fernandinho sometimes used to be injured during like semis or not semis, like during quarters? You remember
yeah,
quarterfinals, Fernandinho would be injured, then would have to think it overthink of it. I don't say. I think I felt this time will be more stable with somebody like Phillips in the team, which I'm happy about. Let me just read this comment from Veda. It says, "Bigger fellas, great show to enjoy doing my Thanksgiving holiday in California." I think that's what he means by CA. I'm just guessing.
yes.
Alvarez will be an on striker in the 75th minute when he subs on Haaland. But that's Henderson is a disgrace. Yeah, McLavin, I saw that. I'm just waiting to hear what happens with that Henderson situation. If that's what he did, man, it's curtains for him. It's curtains for him. So what were you saying? Don't smoke before we move over
Yeah,
to
we're talking about Phillips being a big miss in such games, so we can have a preview of him of having him as the lone DM. And regarding even, I agree with you in the fact that DMs have been part of our downfall in the sense that whenever our DMs have been overrun, we normally lose those games, right? And it's normally a high scoring game which we score less than the opponent, right? Because even if you look at that Madrid game, I feel as if the Fernandinho of old would have been able to see out that game,
yeah, you're right about that. Yeah,
right? So, because even against Atleti, the
yeah,
second leg, we suffered. Even
yeah,
when Fena came on, we scraped that game like we scraped it, like we scraped it, and
yeah.
that's normally like in the sense that you see the thing though, especially in the Champions League, right? If you look at most of the successful teams, their DMs are normally very athletic, right? If you look at the past winners, look, you see Chelsea had Kante, right, who will protect the back four. Bayern had Kimmich, who will protect the back four. Madrid have Casemiro, right? The-
And Madrid also they outdid us. They outdone us. Sorry for cutting you. They outdone us
mm,
because they bought Kamavinga in
yes.
yeah in the game, and he brought more energy, and he was helping in sweeping for the back line. Remember, because when he came in,
Yeah,
Kamavinga
yes.
is the one who caused so much issues for us. Also, if you believe it or not, people think it's Rodri, but Kamavinga coming
No,
in
no,
that
no, no.
midfield, I think was a bit of an issue also.
Rodrigo just finished the chances which they created. The thing is, our players ran out of legs. That's the
Mm.
reality, right? Our players ran out of legs in the latter parts of game. Hence, Ancelotti was spot on in bringing Kamavinga at the end because he knew we just need one goal and we'll have momentum on our side. So that's how I'm saying that if you look at all of them, that's why when we signed Phillips, I was very excited because of his athleticism. Because if you see for England, when England played with Phillips and without Phillips, there's a difference, right? Phillips has a lot of energy, right? And it's not just energy, he can also move the ball forward, right? So it's more of going into the latter stages of the Champions League. There might be games whereby we would need a double pivot, right? And that's what Bernardo used to do for Rodri, whereby they would play together and Bernardo would be the legs around Rodri. You see most of the games whereby a very counter-attacking team, right? Like even against Liverpool, that's why Bernardo shines because he has the energy to run. Whereby if you have Gundo and Rodri against a team that doesn't take control possession, yes, you will dominate. But a team that's good in transition, as you see, even Tottenham, Spurs, they enjoyed that. That's why we felt, especially when they beat us 3 at the Etihad, they just left Kane there next to Rodri. Like get the ball, turn around, and play to your first winger. So I think the other player I'd like to see is Palmer, Cole Palmer, right? He may not start. I don't see him starting, but he may come early on in the second half. I feel as if
Yeah,
this is his chance because I remember the season when we sold Ferran Torres, right? The ideology
he
behind
was
it
getting
was,
more opportunity.
yes, was that we have Palmer because even Pep said it, we have Palmer, so I don't think we need to replace Torres. And then he got that foot injury of his, which kept him on the sidelines. So I feel as if this is Palmer's big season to break through and show us that no, he is a player that everyone is hyping up and believe him to be.
Yeah, you can see there's potential. Do you know what I like about Palmer? Here's one thing before we move on to the lineup and predictions. The thing about like Palmer is, guys, subscribe and like the vid, do all that stuff. So it's up to you if you like the vid. Look, what I like about Palmer is he's not scared to shoot. Why I'm saying this, Don, is Champions
Mm,
League. Champions League, you have to
yes.
have the guts to shoot. That's how people win Champions League. All these kids who've performed well in Champions League. Like the kids, you're like, wow, look at that kid performing in Champions League. Our kids are not afraid to dribble, pass somebody, and shoot. The biggest issue we've had in our team, and you know this yourself, and people are like saying, why did you guys win the Champions League? I can also give you one thing about City. City City used to like passing too much. Have you watched our games, Don? I watched back some of our
The
games.
perfect
We
goal.
passed too much. Yeah, the perfect goal. We used to pass too much at the point where somebody would say, just shoot. You know what I mean? Now, what I have
Mm,
noticed is Pep is smart. He's moved from mentality. He's moved from players who like passing too much to players who just shoot. Yes, people like blaming Palmer, saying, "Oh, he's selfish." Do you know why I'm enjoying that selfishness from Palmer? I like that selfishness, Don, because I was like, it might come in handy one day where you're stuck maybe in a UCL, somebody's injured, and the only one who can come on is Palmer. And Palmer, with his selfishness, is the guy who just shoots. You know what I mean? Because sometimes our team is too nice to shoot. Because even if you watch that game, the Community Shield, there's a
yes.
moment where Gundogan and Haaland do a 1-2 with each other. Remember? Haaland gives it to Gundo,
Yes.
and Gundo, instead of shooting,
He wants to pass just to find
yeah,
out that, yeah.
he gave it back to Haaland. They were in front of goal, and there's okay. It's a good thing that maybe our players are not that selfish like the Salahs, this and that, but sometimes in a UCL, especially Champions League, I think you have to be selfish unless you know that okay, there's a pass there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, there's a
Mm,
pass, like the selfishness that Maris and Foden did when we were 2-0 up. That's a useless selfishness because that moment you're up, give it to somebody so you can seal it. But in a moment where it's like we need this, if you see it's an open goal, hit it. But our players used to pass around. I remember David Silva was through on
Mm.
goal, Don, and he
Yeah,
passed it.
Silva,
And the announcer was
Silva,
like,
yes, Silva was similar. Even Bernardo has that kind of habit. I think my only criticism of Palmer though is I think it comes maybe it will come with maturity of knowing when to pass and when to shoot. And Foden had that similar issue. And at times you would see it with Pep. It's like, yes, you can shoot, but not there. Like the probability of you scoring in that angle is very low, whereby it'll have to be a wonder strike and you have an easier option. And I feel as if at times with Palmer, it's more like he's trying to is trying to what's the like appease too much. Like it's trying to prove a point. Like no, I belong here, right? So I think at times it's more of I think it will come with maturity or maybe confidence that no, my spot is guaranteed within the team. I think that kind of a show like even like the brain. I think the brain is the best of knowing when to shoot and when to pass, right? And that's whereby at times even Mahrez he overdoes it. Even Cancelo, unlike to you, Cancelo does it too. Whereby it, instead of passing, Cancelo hits stand people fans in the crowd. So I think it's more of
yeah,
decision
but
making in the
but
final.
but but Cancelo, I've noticed that he does starts doing that after he's frustrated. You notice? Have you noticed his face? Like
Exactly my
every time
point.
he crosses the ball to people and people are not finishing,
Mm.
that's when Cancelo is like, you know what, I've had enough. And man, okay. Look, guys, I know this is a preview. I didn't do the review for the Southampton. I didn't do the preview for the Southampton. But Don, this Cancelo guy, man, what the hell? What this guy, man? Is that a fullback? That's not a fallback, man. You look at the techniques. Look at what he did. First of all, you have to remember what he did at Newcastle. Remember when he dropped your
Mm.
guy? Remember before he scored that beautiful goal at Newcastle, where he dropped the
Yes.
shot and the guy fall on the floor. Did you see what he did in this game? People think it's easy, where you fool somebody and it's just split seconds. When you fool them, you have to shoot because there's a gap
Yes.
opening. Like,
Mm.
man, I don't know. I actually thought for a minute, and I was so hyped. I thought when they gave him the number 7, and they were trying to
You play on
buy
the wing.
a mature left back, I thought Pep is finally gonna do it. And would you blame him if you saw Cancelo is the right back or the left back? Would you blame Pep? Because my God, I think he would cook somebody.
No, no,
Because
no,
let's
no,
not
I'm
forget
saying
that at Valencia he was a winger. Remember, he was a winger.
yeah, that's actually my point. Ability wise, Cancelo can play on the wing, right? Cancelo. The thing is, when you're a good footballer, right, like Bernardo, you can literally play anywhere on the pitch, right? And that's Cancelo. He can play in midfield. He can play up front. He can play anywhere because ability-wise, composure, he has all the traits. I think the only thing that used to stop him was mentality, whereby it's easy to get into Cancelo's head. Like it's easy to, hence at times he makes reckless or needless challenges, right? I think that's Cancelo gets in his own way, in his own way at times, because he has almost all the elements to be one of the best fullbacks.
People have started saying it. People have like it's changed now. Don, remember you were actually you had to fight to put Cancelo's name in that hat. You know, right now people are saying there's no fullback. That's right now in world football. Because think about it, fullbacks have sort of gone down. I don't. I'm watching the other leagues. Fullbacks
Yeah.
have gone down a
Well,
bit. You're like you see, yeah,
funny enough, he's always been in the conversation of top three, right? Even
he
at
has,
rival,
he has, yeah.
I'm saying on even on rival channels or podcasts, they've always rated him in ability wise. Ability wise, he's the most natural, right? Whereby nothing that Cancelo does looks forced. He
Yeah.
always looks like he has more time than he actually has, right? That's how good he is, right? And the only thing they had against him was his defending, which has actually been
Improved.
improving, right?
And
Which
his
is
positioning
actually
is also better right now.
yeah, positioning, awareness, so many things. Because at times they should consider used to have mental lapses, right?
Yeah.
Especially out of possession, whereby you could catch him daydreaming at times,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, cool. So, guys, let me just go to the comments and we go to the lineup predictions. Samir says, I think Bernardo Silva should rest tomorrow. What do you guys think? Um, yes, isn't it? Would you bring in Gundogan,
Gundo
Rodri,
will play, right?
yeah.
Gundo, I don't even think I'm not sure if they will even risk Rodri. right?
You think it's gonna be Gundo the Holding again?
I wouldn't be surprised if Pep pull out a 4-4-2, right?
Mm.
Whereby he had maybe De Bruyne and because our formation has been fluid this season when you look at it, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It has
What's
been
his name?
very,
What's his name? Is free. He's given the free role Cancelo like he was given when he was on fire that season.
right. So the thing is, I don't really think we will even get the midfield right. I see Pep. No, the thing though, I feel as if this is where if we had like a McAtee in the squad, it would have been beneficial for
Yeah,
him.
that's what I did. I don't know. That I really wanted him to stay, because he could have been cooking in some of these games. And that's the thing about this City, man. It looks like you are actually a better bowler by staying around the first team. Does that make sense? You actually
Yes.
your price tag, your status is higher if you stay around the first City team than go somewhere else. I know Delap scored, but he's been suffering because the midfield he has at Stoke City, which I think was a bad decision. Those rumors, I don't know
Mm.
if you heard, Don, that actually Dortmund wanted him. I didn't know.
Yes.
Dortmund actually wanted Delap. So I was like, oh my God, is it because he went to Stoke because of his father? Because that Stoke midfield is not feeding him. And do you know where you
Mm.
see these levels? Do you know how Delap people think is just an out and out striker? Delap is dropping in every game, going to take the ball, trying to create something. That's how bad the Stoke City creativity is. Makiti looks like one of the best players on the pitch every time he steps in the Sheffield team. So you see, these kids are ballers. I just think some of
You know,
these. I know that City wanted to not sell them because Makiti was wanted by Premier League team Leeds, I think so, but they wanted cash. They wanted to buy him and they buy back. I think City didn't want that. Delap was wanted by Southampton. I think as much as that's bad, you could have just put first refusal. Do you know what I mean, Don? First refusal, send him to Southampton to grow. Do you get my point? Like send him there to grow. I don't know because I'm thinking about it. Is Delap going to ever be brought back? Because City. With this, let's not forget
yeah, the
about Pablo
moment you leave,
Maffeo. Remember Pablo Maffeo? That was a baller.
yes.
What happened?
No,
Now he's a
what I've seen is the moment you leave the first team, right, there's a very low chance of you coming back and breaking into it, right?
yeah. Do
No,
you remember
no, the
Doyle?
thing is, yeah, till now, Thomas, it keeps going and coming back, going and coming back. Now, the thing which I was about to say is the moment you train with the first team and the players, I don't think the thing is wherever you're gonna go, it's gonna be a level below, right? And what made me notice this is Lavia going to Southampton. He was just by being there, he was actually almost at the same level as Ward Prowse. That's an English international, right? He looked as if he was one of their best midfielder already,
He was carrying the
right?
team. He was the best player. Remember that he was the player of the month
You,
twice.
you see what I'm saying in the sense that he couldn't even get in, he couldn't break into City's team, whereby the next team with internationals, you're already at their level with the highest ceiling. That just shows
The,
you that
the, the sword Romeo, whatever his name is, they sold him away just because of Lavia.
you
Remember?
see
They
what
sold
I'm
him after a
saying
few games, yeah.
in the sense that even all this delap, you're not going to improve more wherever you go. You're not going to improve more than staying with the squad. That's
Mm.
just the sad reality that even just training with these guys week in week out, and you saw it with Foden, whereby for him he will tell you that it was the best decision to stay because everyone was like, no, we should go on loan, but then you can see that at the end of the day all the tactics and whatnot have been drilled into him by Pep
Mm.
and the coaching team week in week out. That is priceless. It's like a free internship. Maybe for example, let's say you're a computer science student and you get an internship at Google, right, or Microsoft. That or go work at your local computer or IT
Yeah,
firm.
all those Africa small shops
You,
where
you see
shops
what
where
I'm
the
saying?
market.
What I'm saying, as much as this, being an intern won't be a permanent job, but what you're gonna learn in the amount of time, because then you actually gonna be working with some of the best IT people in the industry, right? Whereby on this other side, yes, it will be a permanent job, but you'll be working with average guys. You understand?
Mm.
So the knowledge which you're gonna learn and the skills you that's are gonna rub off you is never gonna be the same. So Maybe it's that thing of whereby a player feels as if he's ready, and you get this with with young talents who are hyped up, right? They feel as if, no, I need to. Same thing with Sancho. You saw it with Sancho. No, no, no. I'm good enough to be a first team player. You're like, okay, go. And I don't know any players who have left City and have had a better career elsewhere. I can't name one.
Not many, not many, not many. Even Pablo Maffeo, he had a great career in Germany. Then we bought him back, and then we loaned him out to Girona, and then that's how we destroyed him. To be honest with you, between you and me, don't smoke. We should have left him in Germany. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have activated the
Yeah.
buyback. We should have left him. He was cooking in that league, and he was in the team of the German league of the Bundesliga. Then we bought him back, and we just sent him back to Girona. We were trying to market him out. We just ruined him. Let's just do. I think you guys will replace Bernardo Silva with Jude Bellingham next year. You like that idea? Yeah, yeah. I think we might. You never know. Power plays.
I don't like that idea.
You know. Yeah, we're gonna have to move, guys, because I thought I would do this, then go to the Liverpool and Arsenal on the other channel. So let me just move on with your comments and we go to the lineup. Palmer plays with personality. He takes ownership of shots of his takes ownership of the shot or his dribbling and passing. True. Big up Patrick. And don't smoke. How you doing, Daniel? Cancelo is like
Yeah, man.
Marcelo a bit. Yeah, you're right about that. It's lazy when people say Cancelo can defend because he can't defend. He just has his moment when he loses his concentration or discipline defense. I think Don't Smoke touched on that. Palmer looks faster and sharper than Mares. Yeah, Mares needs to like Mares. Let's be honest. Don't Smoke. He needs to
Yeah.
pick up fast. There's people in this team that are balling. Kotuta says Rico Ruiz must stay and keep learning from Walker. It's not get okay. Walker is not getting any younger. Keep learning. Walker is not getting younger. That's true. Walker looks like times are going. So okay, let's go to this. The four backs. Obviously, who do you think? Is it Akanji again, or Akanji is gonna be kept for He's gonna be kept for Liverpool?
What I actually see is no, no.
Who's more
The
important, Akanji or Cancelo, to be rested
uh,
for Liverpool?
I think Akanji is important in the sense of counterattacks with Walker out. Because
Yeah.
I remember I was even telling you guys that Akanji plays because he's quick, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have Walker, you're gonna have Akanji. And the moment Pep was describing his attributes before buying them, I knew what exactly. Hence, I wasn't shocked when he started into the team immediately
Mm-hmm.
because it was to stop the counterattacks, and especially against Liverpool, they're gonna need him. So I think you might see Diaz and Laporte or Ake
Okay.
because I
So what
feel
about the right hand side? Is it gonna be Cancelo?
Cancelo.
Down the middle. Uh, Don't Smoke is used to here. Okay, I think we've lost Don't Smoke, guys. So somebody says Laporte and Ake are going to start. Okay, I'm going to put Laporte and Ake. So Ake, wait. When Ake is playing, Laporte is always at the right hand side, and then Ake, um, Don't Smoke. I don't think I can hear you, man. I don't think I can. Guys, can you hear Don't Smoke in the guys who are watching? Can you hear Don't Smoke? Because I can't hear Don't Smoke at all. So I can hear. Let me just write him a message. Yeah, can you guys hear me, guys? The guys who are watching, can you hear me? Somebody just tell me if you can hear me. Or is it just me? Can you hear me with the guys? Yeah, let me see. So he says Laporte and Ake to start. Okay, I'm gonna put Laporte and Ake, and then here I'll see Gomez because we have a game against Liverpool. I think it's best to just get him ready and see if we can get him ready. The midfield, though, so the midfield is gonna be interesting. I think Rodri might play another game because he came back, so he's gonna have to be fresh. Uh, yeah, so SSB says big up to you, man. Guys, can somebody tell me, whoever is watching, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because I couldn't hear Don't Smoke, but can you hear me? Is it an issue on my side? So tell me if you can hear me in the comments, please. Okay, cool. So for me, this one, I don't know. I just feel like Gundogan is going to play this. If it was up to me, I would rest De Bruyne, but people say we should rest Silva instead. So I would give rest to yeah. How you doing, Don, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, load shedding, man. Africa. I was just switching over to the
Uh,
inverter. Yeah.
okay, so somebody says we should go Gundo, Bernardo, and Rodri. I was thinking of resting Bernardo, or would you rest De Bruyne? Who was more important to rest? Hmm.
Funny enough, I actually see Pep has been pushing Gomez into midfield, right? So you could see you could he I wouldn't be surprised if at halftime you have Rico Lewis on the right,
Hmm.
Arcade left back, and probably Diaz and Laporte
Hmm.
in the middle. So and not the thing though with De Bruyne is I think is a momentum player in the sense that he relies on rhythm.
Yeah.
So De Bruyne is better off starting and you taking him off than bringing him off the
Okay.
bench.
Okay. Cool. So Myers, Han, and Grealish. Okay. Cool. Cool. So that's the front people are looking for. So people are looking for Myers, Haaland, and Grealish. Would you give Myers another opportunity? The
Pep will
Myers
start.
Grealish, Grealish partnership is coming back.
Yeah, I think if Gomez is playing right, then Grealish is all right. Because
Yeah.
the problem is when you play both inverted fullbacks,
Mm,
you need people to overlap,
mm,
right? So as long as Gomez is there, Grealish is okay because you're gonna
and
have
I, and I,
someone.
and I, and I've been impressed with Grealish, man.
I have at the end of the day, hence I'm saying like not having a left back and a striker, I think restricted Grealish in the sense
Mm,
that Grealish wants Grealish is a player whereby he creates room for other players.
mm,
So by
mm,
drifting in, defenders will follow him. So now,
mm,
if you don't have anyone overlapping, then it becomes wasted space, right? So it's more like okay, I've created space for you. Who's going down there to pull someone out of position, right? So he's the type of guy whereby Grealish at his best, he creates chaos in defense, right? So as long as Gomez plays, I don't mind Grealish.
Yeah, cool. So, guys, that's the lineup. We've got Edison in goal. We've got Laporte and Ake as center backs. We've got Gomez at left back. We've got Cancelo at right back. We've got Rodri back for him to get a bit of fitness for the Liverpool game. Then we've got Gundogan. Then we've got De Bruyne. Then we've got Mahrez, Haaland, and Grealish. So, guys, I'm going to put this on Twitter later to just put it and post it with the link to this video for the people who didn't watch it. So, guys, I'm going to end the show right there, but we're going to end it with predictions. So, Mr. Don't Smoke, we've gone to the part where everybody doesn't like. What is your score prediction, guys? In the comments, and guys, gonna watch this later. Yep. You tell us your predictions too, but don't smoke. What do you see in this Copenhagen away game? Copenhagen is very difficult away, by the way. They usually get most of the results away, and they make it very difficult, and their support is incredible. But what do you see?
No, I'll actually do you one better. I'll tell you the goal scorers, right? So
Mm,
Haaland will score two, right?
mm-hmm,
Mahrez will score one, and
mm.
then I see Alvarez off the bench coming to score, and I won't be, and then I don't know who the fifth goal scorer will be, but I feel as if it will be some maybe it could be a Palmer goal or Foden.
Okay.
I see Grealish trying to score again and not scoring by getting an assist.
I hope he scores though. I hope for his sake, man. He tried. He tried. I've
No,
never
I
seen
see him
somebody,
trying again. I
man.
see him trying again, but
Nah,
it's
man.
just
He needs to. It needs to go in the back of the net, man. The
it'll
guy
hit the
was
post.
was the guy was sacrificing people. He was taking people's
Yeah.
souls, but he couldn't just. The keeper and that Copenhagen keeper, man. My God, I hear he's just 23 years old. You know that, right? The Copenhagen keeper, just 23.
Mm.
People watching that will take him. So it says, if you want to be real, you can probably rest the horse starting 11. I don't think now. I think Pep wants to kill it, isn't it, Don? You know, Pep. He wants to kill it right now
Yeah,
because
Pep is one
because
of
the
those
other game
guys.
is the other game is Dortmund. So Dortmund, you never know what might happen. You'd rather kill Copenhagen. You know what I mean? You'd rather kill Copenhagen because you never know. Even as bad as Sevilla is, Sevilla can be difficult at least. You know what I mean? They can give you a difficult game. So it's best to finish Copenhagen. I don't know if I'm wrong. It's best to finish them,
No,
get all the points from them.
yeah, Pep is not the kind of coach whereby let's rest the lads and play the kids. That's never been Pep's mentality, right? He'll play the kids, but after the result is secured. So I think the key thing is how many goals can we score in the first half. That will determine how early Pep will make the subs.
Yeah, we
Right.
have to. We have to. I would like to see what Copenhagen are gonna come with, because in the last game they tried to pack the bus and it didn't work out, because that's what they did. They just sat back and it didn't work out. So I'd like to see that. Look, that are they gonna say, you know what? This is the second leg against City. We might as well just play. Do you know what I mean? Like some teams say, what's the
For the
point? Because
home
you're
for
not
the
gonna
home
meet
side.
City again, huh?
I'm saying we might as well just play for. No, the thing is, as much as they would like to, the thing is, the teams know that City can actually sacrifice you. Like a 10 goal, a ten goal
But
mark
but
is,
wouldn't
is
you do that? Because you know that they slapped us 5-0. Second leg, wouldn't you just say, you know what, let's just try play them. If we at home,
but
let's just
no, but
try
these are
attack them.
these are not at the end of the day. Not many teams. I think maybe second division teams, right?
Mm.
Wouldn't mind getting sacrificed by City. It's like it's not a at the end of the day, it's the champions of the land. But
Mm.
these teams who play in their own divisions and have some credibility, and these are professionals with ego and some pride. They're
None
not
so
gonna
be
hold.
taken.
Yeah, they're like nah, and you have to go home to your wife and kids. Like no, I'm from work.
Man, now you've just made me feel like, imagine like that Watford 7-0. How did those guys go home, man?
Yeah,
And
like
imagine if your
okay,
son looks at you and said, "Daddy, what happened?"
like okay,
7.
daddy. No, 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 no. What's worse is it's more like daddy. Why you tired when you didn't play?
Let's not start insulting teams. So it says 4-0 City. So guys, Martin, man, big up to you, man. Big up to everybody who's watching this, guys. I'm going over to the Football and Chills channel. I want to do a review on the Liverpool versus Arsenal. I don't know if Don't Smoke is going to join. Maybe he might be going. So I'm going to go to the Football and Chills and do the Liverpool versus Arsenal game reaction. So, guys, check me out on the Football and Chills. I'll post one of the links on Twitter, so you guys can watch it there. But thank you very much, Ketuta, and everybody who's been watching, guys. Like the vid. Liking the vid is free. Like the vid right now. When you're done with this, like the vid. So, Don't Smoke, thank you very much, man. I don't know if you're going to join me with the other one, but you're more than
No,
welcome.
sure, man. Just leave the link and yeah, I'll
The link
pop
is
in.
already in the group. Just check the second
All
link.
right.
It's the second one.
Okay,
Yeah, so
no
big up to
problem.
you, man. I'm gonna start it in a few but few minutes. I was supposed to start it at 9 o'clock. I thought I'd finish this in 15 minutes. But every time when we're talking about City, it always gets exciting. So guys, for
Yeah,
me, my prediction is I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a more serious score, but I think because it's away, it might be a 3-0, because when you're away, they don't want to be embarrassed in front of the fans, you know what I mean? But I have seen
yeah,
City before, don't smoke, let's not forget, I have seen City before go to people's grounds, like Shaka, who's a better team than Copenhagen, and sacrifice
exactly.
Shaka 6-0. Remember, they sacrificed Shaka
I
6-0.
remember.
So, yeah, because Shaka, I think, lost at Red Hat, but when they went to Shaka were like, let's play them. You know what I mean? Yeah, just hit me up, Martin, hit me up on Twitter, man. Just hit me up on Twitter. I'll be able to add you on that. So guys, that's it from us. Join me on Football and Chills so we can all laugh at Liverpool.